This video is on the different register layouts that are available in ThunderPOS 5.0. Uh, this is as of version 5.0.4, which is the current version as I am recording this. We do have plans to release more templates to be included by default in versions down the line, and that may add to what options you have if you're looking at the software in the future. But to get to this screen, we just go to System Administration and Register Layout. And it's a fairly simple screen. You'll have a list of your register layouts with their names, and then a Select button and an Import New button. Import New will allow you to bring in any template files that you get sent from Extreme Point of Sale. But for the moment, we're just going to run through these four. I'm going to show kind of the differences so that you can make a choice on which best suits your needs. There is customization available if you need assistance with that. Just contact support. If you're wanting a really heavy overhaul, there may be a charge. If it's just something simple like a single button removed, we may be able to do it without that. So just go to register here, and it's going to pop up the register. And I've got it maximized here just for full purposes, but I will also shrink it down to a regular size for each of these designs. Now, this particular register, the standard register, was designed for users of our previous versions of ExtremePOS, MusicWare, and Praise. So the layout is actually very similar to those products. You can see your list of buttons along the left that simulates the menus. Covers most all of the functions. Any of these are just going to pop over in the back office window. As you can see, it'll take me away from the register layout and bring it up there. Um, this one in particular is not especially designed for a touchscreen. So we still have the small versions of checkboxes, all that kind of thing. If we shrink it down, you'll see it just scales down. The grid becomes scalable, but this is at the minimum resolution, how it'll look if you have a very small monitor or if you just like to keep the window shrunk. One thing I should mention, this is the same, the item grid is the same on all of these versions. I'm just going to add something to the screen here. So you can rearrange these columns by just clicking and dragging. You can also resize them as needed. So maybe we want the promotions bigger. And then you can just right click the grid and hit save grid settings. And then if I close out, I gotta cancel this transaction, but if I were to close out and then go back in and then add something again, you'll see it still has price over here, description kind of shrank. If I right click it again, hit reset grid settings, it's gonna reset them back to normal. This is station specific. It does carry across different employees on the same station, so just bear that in mind. But you can rearrange it to your liking for the particular station. So this is the standard register option. If we go down the list here, we go back to our register layout screen, we go to standard 2, and we go into it. You'll notice the look is fairly similar, but there are some key differences. This one's a little more touchscreen friendly. The used and trade checkboxes have been replaced by these large buttons that function the same way that checkboxes do. The order of the screen is a little different. It's not quite the same as in the old version, but the overall experience is about the same. If we shrink it down, it's same deal, uses all of the space much more efficiently at that size. It's kind of designed to be able to work scaled up or not. But this one is kind of a compromise between the touch registers and the non-touch. So you still have support for just scanning at the register rather than setting up touch menus, but this one is more meant to work with a touchscreen. Now, we're going to move over to Touch and Touch 2. These two templates are similar, but they're kind of designed for different sizes. I only have a very simple inventory in here right now. So this one is more designed to be run at like this size. So you'll notice there's not a box to scan in. If you need to do a search, you can hit items to bring it up, but that's not really the primary way. That would be an exception. This is really meant for our customers who are using the old touch devices. Um, so you'll see we can actually do sale, return, trade, whatever from here, and then check used or not. Uh, so this is actually a series of touch um, menus. So I'd actually set up some groups. We'll go through this in a different video. I'll put the link in the description down below once that's ready. And we set up these menus with these different products. We can set the colors on each of these. I accidentally set the drinks and popcorn to the same colors. Um, but then you can actually just click it and you can add it to the menu. And you're probably going to want to, for this size, you're probably going to want to rearrange this grid so that you can fit everything, but um, and get a good look at all of it. But the main method that you're going to add items to the invoice is through the touch on this one. Now, this one is for the smaller resolutions, as mentioned. Now, if we want to see the other touch, it's the same basic layout, except it's designed to be better at a high resolution. So this one, as you can see, at a low resolution, it doesn't really work. But if we go to a very high resolution, um, it splits the space in half, so you have much more space for your grid and all. You would have space for a great many items on the touchscreen. I just didn't add a great many items. The size of these buttons can be customized, so you can make them larger or smaller. This is probably about as small as you would want them, but you could make them larger. And then you can run a very simple cafe off of this. So these are the kind of the ones that are built in. There are probably going to be more coming down the pipeline. And the plan is to eventually give a tool to help you customize them yourself. But even now, customization services are available. There just may have to be a charge for them. So just ask your support representative or your sales representative, and they'll be happy to get you further information on that.